Yeah, so currently just gonna commence starting the painting on the passageway. Like I said, it's one of those things that was on my to-do list, but it's taking me longer than I'd anticipated. Better late than never. At some point, I think at the beginning of the year, I painted just a frame in black. So now I'm just going to do the walls back in white. We've actually got black trimming. Don't know if you can see that on camera, but I'm just going to go back over that. Spent most of yesterday afternoon sanding down, particularly the ceiling, hoping that it will hold out well. So yeah, let me start the painting. This door, which leads into the garage, currently full of stuff, is going to be painted in green, some shade of green anyway. You see how that turns out, just to add a bit of colour. And yeah, it leads all the way to the front of the property. There's a nice photo. I've also painted the garage door at the front, which is still holding up pretty well. It was in sort of like a zebra striped white and black before, so it's looking pretty good now. Keeping a sort of black theme to go with the general trimmings of the property. Again, I've painted the front, which is holding up pretty well. So yeah, hopefully this will all be done. I would have saved myself hundreds of pounds, and let you know how it goes at the end. Yeah, this is what I started yesterday, cutting down the sides, trying my best not to make a mess of it all. Now, disclaimer, I am not a professional painter by any means. However, I have painted a few times, so I've got a bit of experience. You might not be able to see the difference on the video, but hopefully something will come through. Looks a lot cleaner in the corners where I've started cutting in. Like I said, it's not going to be a perfect professional job, but I'm sure it's going to look a whole lot better once it's all done. I've already cut around all the light fixtures which are on the wall, just looking a lot cleaner. This is the garage door where I was hoping to use a spray paint, a yellow spray paint that I have, but like I said, not sure it will come out nice. So we're just going to paint it in green. This is quite a unique thing actually. There's a bell that's normally attached to here, which I've removed. It's got a black cat that keeps guard over our front door. My wife is busy baking a cake inside, so looking forward to that. We've got quite an unusual door. It's a sort of like a barn door that opens in two halves. I'm not sure if you can see that on camera, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So here we have it, guys. I'm started the job, started doing the cutting in right here, and as you can see, it takes a bit of time. Perhaps this is the most painstaking time, is the preparation work. Now, I'm not a professional painter by any stretch of the imagination. However, I will say that from what I've learned over the years is that the hardest part is the preparation. I started off by sanding down the walls, removing any marks or dirt or grease from the walls as best as possible. What that will basically allow you to do is to paint the walls and allow the paint to actually stick better to that wall to give you a better finish, and it will last a whole lot longer. So the preparation is vital. You can see me here removing anything that might get in the way, cutting around small objects that I don't want paint to actually go on. I can actually say that using a smaller brush is much better. It will actually allow you to be able to maneuver a lot better, get into small creases, and overall, even though it might take a bit longer, it'll help your work to look a lot neater. So first thing I'll suggest is to sand everything down, get it dusted off, wipe it down if you need to, let it dry, and then you can move on to doing the cutting work. Now the cutting work simply is getting a small brush and just going around the edges, so that when it comes time for you to use a roller, like you can see here, you won't have to worry about the corners and the edges, because you would already have gone round and done all of them, going around all of the fittings and so on. So cutting is essential after your prep work. From there, it's pretty straightforward. As you can see here, I've got a dust sheet down to protect any splashes as I'm doing the rolling. You have to also choose the right type of paint. Now I'm doing the outside of the house, which means it will be exposed to the elements, so therefore it makes sense to use a special paint which will last longer and be stronger to the elements. So I'm using an outdoor masonry paint to paint these walls. Like I said, this is the right paint to use when painting outdoors. So yeah. So you can see it hasn't taken that long for the paint to actually be rolled onto the walls compared to how long it took me to actually do the cutting. I've simply gone over that with an outdoor grade black paint. Now I've started at one end, moving along. Because I was going to be kneeling down for a long time, I thought it necessary for me to put something down, which is a foam pad under my knees to protect my knees as I'll be kneeling for extended periods of time. And yep, it is painstaking. It's going to take you a long time, but I simply worked my way along until the job was done. Finally, I left this for last, which was basically the garage door, which we wanted to originally paint in green. As you can see, I did try to use a spray paint can that I had left over to spray the door, but it wasn't giving me a nice even coat as I wanted to. So my wife chose yellow, which is her favorite color. She went to the DIY store and chose this paint, which was just a small pot, as I was only going to be painting the door. And I went through painting it with a small brush, taking my time just to get a good coverage. I actually painted this twice just to cover up the spray paint that I had underneath. It doesn't show up very well in this picture, but by the time I gave it the second coat a few hours later, it was much better and it looks really nice. It actually gives us a nice effect when we look out the kitchen onto this door. It always brightens up the passageway and almost makes it feel like it's sunny. Sometimes we're actually fooled now when we look out and see this bright yellow glow, but then we realize, nope, this is autumn, we're in the UK and it is not sunny. So this is the before shots with all of the dirt and all of the flaking paint and so on. After we sanded it down, we then started painting, and this is what it looked like after. So you can see that door is looking much brighter. Everything has a nice pop, a nice clean finish to it. And best of all, this job, I had a quote for £250 from start to finish. I managed to get this job done for a whopping £20, and that's including all of the paint that I've purchased. This is just a reminder, guys, just how important it is for you to think outside the box. Don't say to yourself you can't do it. If you're thinking about investing, and if you're thinking about bettering yourself for the future and having a better life for your family, a lot of these odd jobs around the house, you've got to roll your sleeves up and get dirty and get into it, because you're able to save yourself huge amounts of money. It'll be interesting to know how many people actually take up odd jobs like this around the house. Let me know in the comment section below. Are you someone who loves to do your own DIY? Or are you somebody that just say, you know what, I can't be bothered, I'll pay somebody to do it? Let me know in the comment below. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome. Again, the comments and the feedback have been absolutely terrific. And thank you for joining me on this journey. Really appreciate all of the support. Until next time, this is Kenroy saying, I'll see you when you see me. Take care.